A beautiful day in Melbourne, Australia. And for the fortunate folks who have tickets, it is the women's semifinals inside Rod Laver Arena as four women fight for a spot in this coveted Grand Slam final.
Dig in for the fight for your final hunt down under. Stand tall like a conqueror, like the champion you are. Rise up to the challenge to reach the next level, be the next star. Think back to the last time you took over. You took control. Fight, the stand, the rise, the return, the ladies semifinals, down under.
And g'day live from Melbourne, Australia. It's a breezy, sunny, beautiful summer day on women's semifinal day inside Rod Laver Arena. The organized chaos of a Grand Slam has given way. It's now more focused inside Rod Laver Arena. Kim Clijsters smiles after escaping yesterday. She'll take on Maria Sharapova warming up outside. But in the meantime, it's Serena Williams and Nicole Vaidisova. I'm Chris Fowler. Welcome inside Rod Laver Arena on women's semifinal day. Two matches coming up for you. First up, it will be Serena Williams on this court behind me. She's enjoyed some of her career highlights. But coming into this event, she was a long shot. 34-1, said the odds makers, to take this title. And Serena has been reminding us what a great fighter she is, even if she's not in top form and a little bit rusty. She's been living life pretty close to the edge, or as she put it, 2 points away from Qantas Flight 17 back home against Shahar Peer. Today she'll face another big hitter, Nicole Vaidisova, another big server. Both women are using their serve to muscle into the semifinals. Then, after that, you will see the brand new #1 Maria Sharapova, who is seeking her first Australian Open title, against Kim Clijsters in her last Australian Open. She is lucky to be here after a very scratchy performance against Martina Hingis. You saw the smiles, perhaps relieved to just get off the court despite 62 unforced errors. And then tonight here, and you'll see at 3:30 a.m. Eastern Time, Andy Roddick will try to take down the big favorite here, Roger Federer. His nemesis in recent years. Can Roddick's improved game lead to success against Federer, who hasn't dropped a set in these championships? 3:30 a.m. Eastern, 12:30 on the West Coast. Roddick versus Federer. Well, Pam Shriver joins me on women's semifinal day. Great to have you here, Pam.
Well, it's exciting. Semifinal day, everybody has more nerves.
Well, we'll see who can handle the nerves. Certainly, Serena Williams has been on this court many times in big matches. Her opponent, Nicole Vaidisova, well, it's just her second Slam semifinal, and she certainly faced nerves the first time. So you'd have to give, the big experience edge to Serena.
Well, you certainly do. I think the question about Serena is, after all these matches coming out of the blue and some really physical, tough ones, she's got a blister on her foot. How will she come out physically? But let's face it, she's the one that's had tremendous experience, especially in the last few odd number years. 2003, she was going for the Serena Slam, playing against her sister Venus. And she won it actually in an indoor final because it was so hot outside. And then in 05, she'd had a terrible 04, injury plague, but she came here, fought off match points in the semifinals to Sharapova and took down Davenport after being down a set and a break. So she was a surprise winner 2 years ago. Hasn't won a tournament since, hasn't even been close to a semifinal of a major. And then this year, she started really well against a seed, and she hasn't looked back, beating Jankovic after taking out Petrova in 3 tough sets. But it was a win over Jankovic, to me, when she crushed her easily, that signaled that Serena could win this championship for sure.
Yeah, she won a couple of matches against seeds who were favored. And then suddenly she found herself in the half of the draw that was wide open, and she became the favorite. But she had to beat a very tough Israeli Shahar Peer in the previous round. Now she'll try to take down Nicole Vaidisova. We talked about the serving, Pam. Serena's really had to rely on that serve. Against Peer, it was 4-all in that decisive set. She was down 15-40 when she produced big serve after big serve. From 540, 2 aces to get level a deuce in this game.
And this is where her experience, even though it's been 2 years since she's been in the latter stages of a major, she knows she can do it. She's a proven winner under the most pressurized situations. And mind you, Shahar Peer, playing her first ever quarterfinal, battled well and almost took out Serena. It was just a matter of wills at the end because it was physically a demanding match for both.
Now, Nicole Vaidisova, big, strong, about a 6-foot Czech Republic player who's from 17 years old, and she went to Roland Garros and beat Venus Williams and made her an announcement on the world stage there this past spring, knocking out Venus.
Well, and this is when she defeats Venus, and she'd already beaten Mauresmo the round before. To beat Venus on a clay court at Roland Garros isn't that big of a deal, but this would launch Vaidisova through to her first ever semifinal of a major. She's got huge ground strokes, a tremendous serve, so anytime you go on the court with 3 big weapons, Chris, you've got a chance. But this is where things crumbled. Up a set and 5-3 against Kuznetsova in the semi, she couldn't close it out.
No, she could not. Now, she says she's learned from that experience. In a big match, you'll have to play more solid mentally, I would think, in this match than she was able to do that. But she's got the ground strokes.
Oh, she really has everything. I just think at times she's been immature, which happens when you're 17. But I'll tell you, there's a lot of 17 and 16-year-olds through the years in women's tennis that have had some of their best results, a la Martina Hingis. So backing down in that semifinal clash against Kuznetsova at the French gave me a little signal that she's perhaps not as mentally tough as the best previous teen champions, but today's a big chance for her.
All right, we'll get your prediction on this match in just a second. The second semifinal will be Maria Sharapova versus Kim Clijsters. They were both on court yesterday. Sharapova spent a lot of time on court during this tournament, but it's Clijsters that had to go 3 sets yesterday, surviving somehow 62 unforced errors in that match. It was a scratchy performance that exceeded the total number of errors in all her matches down here in one match.
Well, it was really a huge chance for Martina Hingis. And of all the 4 losing quarterfinalists, the one that walked off most devastated was the former #1 3-time champion here, Martina Hingis. She was shattered because she knew that Kim Clijsters tried to hand her the match in many ways. Hingis was serving for 3-love in the 3rd set and served that horrendous double fault, a couple of more unforced errors, which told us she was nervous at the latter stages of a major for the first time in a little while.
Now, it's her last tournament. You kept wondering when that farewell factor would pop up and she would feel the nerves, and it certainly was yesterday. All right, there's a men's doubles semifinal going on behind us here in the late stages, so we'll be delayed a little bit in the start of our women's semifinals, but when we come back, we'll talk more about Serena Williams' quest to regain this title. Her match against Nicole Vaidisova, again followed by Sharapova versus Clijsters. It'll be Serena Williams, champion here in 03 and 05 on court against Nicole Vaidisova for a spot in the 07 final. They've been waiting, probably impatiently, but in just a few minutes, Serena Williams and Nicole Vaidisova. They've never played before. Their first career meeting will be on a very big stage in a very high-stakes match. Chris Fowler back with Pam Shriver. They've never played, but they certainly do know each other, because at Nick Bollettieri's academy, when Serena Williams was already a superstar and working out down there, Nicole Vaidisova was maybe 11, 12 years old, remembers looking through the fence in awe and watching Serena hit balls and, thinking someday, I wonder if I'll be good enough to compete against her.
And she certainly is. But the other thing for Serena, she has a great scouting mate in her big sister Venus, because Venus has played Vaidisova actually in the finals of a tournament in Istanbul a couple of years ago. It was on clay. So I know that Serena and Venus always chat when they play, when one plays an opponent that the other hasn't seen. And it's still great to remind people of what a phenomenal career Serena Williams had with the way she's been successful at the majors through the years. winning the U.S. Open in '99 over Hingis, that shocked everybody that she was able to win a major before Venus. And then she had a couple of years where she was trying to live up to those expectations. And then along came the Serena Slam year that started in '02 and finished here with the Australian Open of '03. And then '05 came out of the blue winning here. So it's been a couple of years of inconsistent play, but I think being in her mid-20s, she still has years left if she's dedicated to it.
You can see that injuries have cost her, the chance to appear in a few of the recent majors, but in the last 4 prior to this one, she hadn't reached the quarterfinals. So she's gotten past those matches. She's on a big stage, and she feels like she's fresh and ready to go. Let's get the thoughts of Dick Enberg and Mary Jo Fernandez about this one.
All right, thanks a lot, Chris. And Mary Jo Fernandez, with her experiences here at the Australian Open and at Rod Laver Arena, watching here the last several years, you were in the finals twice, so that meant you won the semis in '90 and '92. Those other characters, Steffi Graf and Monica Seles,
where'd they come from?
Yeah, they had to deny you the championship. But you can put yourself in the position of young Vaidisova, her best ever effort here in Australia. And Serena, what's she doing here? No one thought she had a chance.
It's a great effort from the youngster, for sure, for Vaidisova. Not a lot of experience, but she is mentally getting stronger. For Serena, we didn't know what to expect. The only thing we knew for sure is that Serena was going to fight. She was going to bring her all to every single match. And she got a little lucky because, remember, she was unseeded, ranked 81 in the world. Got a Italian seed in the first round, Sant'Angelo. And then in the third round, this was the big test. She played Petrova in the far court, ranked 6th in the world, was down a set and 5-3, 6-1, 5-3. And all of a sudden, started to play her best tennis. Winners started rolling off her racket. She wins that one in 3 and then takes on one of the hottest players on the tour, Jelena Jankovic, in the far court, who's very fast. And in this match, Serena came out blasting. I thought her movement was so much better than in the first few rounds. And she was determined. I feel that she's going to do the same today, Dick. She's going to come out very focused, trying to send the message early on. But this was a tremendous effort to take out Jankovic in straight sets. The emotions were there. The attitude was just spectacular.
You know, those pictures identifying Serena Williams' inner fury competitively to win, and that's what everyone admires. A couple of notes here. Tough to beat here in Australia, Serena Williams. She's won 21 of the last 22 matches here on Rod Laver. Her first major, she's already established Hall of Fame credentials with her 7 majors. Her first slam win was in the United States, the Open in '99. She was 17 and 11 months. Her opponent today, Nicole Vaidisova, is 17 and 9 months. And maybe this is her time. Many have been predicting that she's going to be the next superstar on the women's side. Should be a very interesting match. And making it all the more exciting and dramatic always is Serena Williams.
I don't think anyone thought I would get this far, except for me and my mom.
I missed her. I miss this. It's nice to have her back, eh?
I'm really enjoying the battle every day. I wake up, but I'm like, I can't wait to play. You know, I can't wait to get out there.
What a wonderful point, and the defense of Serena Williams. Her opponent's down for the count.
That's how she looked 2 years ago.
I believe in my game, and more than anything, I believe in me.
That's it. She did it again. When no one believes in her, she says she believes in herself.
She's got the pole position now. She's got a chance to drive all the way into Saturday's final.
It doesn't matter what people say, what people write. You know, at the end of the day, I'm my biggest fan. Maybe my dad. But other than that, you know, you have to always be your biggest fan.
Her mother, Oracene, said before the championships, my daughter's rusty, and certainly she was. She had only played 4 tournaments all last year, and as Chris told you, 34-1 long shot in this championship. And there they come now. Serena Williams leading the way, a woman that is just exuding confidence as she's arrived here at the semifinals.
Well, she said it herself. She believes, she has that inner faith. Yesterday, she spent most of the day in bed, Dick, because she is sore. She has blisters on her feet. She had a light hit, so we'll see physically how she comes out, but she definitely has the experience, and we'll see the maturity of Nicole Vaidisova, who's walking right behind Serena Williams in her 2nd major semifinal.
You heard in the interview portion of that piece we've just enjoyed that Serena Williams has also been bothered by a cold. She's had a head in a steamer and using eucalyptus and peppermint tea to try to clear up that condition. She's not 100%, but what a delightful part of this championship to see her fight to make it here to the Final
It's
Four.
just great having her back in the mix. She's already going to have her ranking up to about 30 in the world. If she loses today, it'll go even higher if she wins. She needs to be on that court all the time.
It was amazing. There wasn't a woman seated of 32 seats. No U.S. woman. Serena Williams has taken care of that, Chris.
Dick, she may be the all-time dangerous floater, or as she called it in a press conference this week, dangerous floaty. Yeah, the rust, the cold, the blisters, she just got to push all that aside. When you talk to Serena, she allows no thought of frailty or vulnerability to even get in her own head. So you have to take it away from her. You have to beat her 2 sets because she'll never surrender.
Well, and that's the beautiful thing about having her back. And as Dick mentioned, the fact there's been no U.S. woman seated here. The U.S. women had terrible majors all last year. And this is a great statement, not just for Serena. I think it'll get her sister back in the groove a little quicker. I think it's tremendous for U.S. women's tennis. And Serena Williams is going to reestablish herself. But today's match, I think, is totally up for grabs, and so much depends on the 17-year-old's frame of mind.
Exactly. How will she handle the nerves of the occasion? They got to her in her previous Grand Slam semifinal. She's about 9 months older. Has she learned from that experience?
Oh, you learn like a sponge, like a super sponge when you're her age, and she's dedicated. She's working hard on her game. I think mentally she will be ready today to win this match if Serena allows her the chance. I don't think there will be a crater there was when she plays Kuznetsova at the French, 9 months ago. And you can see what a difference in their Grand Slam record. 125 wins for Serena Williams, but 6 titles for Vaidisova. And that's a good sign for a young player to having already won multiple tour titles like she has.
You see the Australian Open record for Serena, and Dick mentioned her success down under, not just in terms of wins and losses, but the moments, the wins came, what they meant. She talks about loving to play down here in Australia, really feeling very much at home. And when she beat her sister to accomplish the Serena Slam, she earned a piece of tennis history forever. And it was on this court behind us when she came back and surprised many by winning the title here 2 years ago, again on this court. So great memories.
Well, it's also hard to believe that it's been 9 years since Venus and Serena played each other.
Okay, same match conditions as your previous rounds. Just with the challenge system, you get an additional challenge in the tiebreak, and in the third set, it resets every 12 games back to the 2 challenges. Any questions on anything? No? Serena, do you want to call? Heads is the call? Heads it is. Serve? Okay.
She was warming up that serving arm, and Serena Williams will serve to start this match, and we'll keep a close eye on that serve, which has helped her get here. Serena Williams, unseeded, 2-time champion here. 10th seeded Nicole Vaidisova for a spot in the finals when we come back live. Just past 2 p.m. in Melbourne, a women's semifinal Thursday. A day that belongs to the heavy hitters, Maria Sharapova and Kim Clijsters to follow. But up now, Serena Williams and Nicole Vaidisova. And back to Dick and Mary Jo.
All right, Chris, I was just thinking about Jamie Foxx, and after Serena won her last tournament, the Australian Open 2 years ago, and he serenaded her with "I want to be your tennis ball." And she has had a ball here in Melbourne to win her first 5. She's 25 now. Born in Saginaw, Michigan, grew up in Compton, California, now makes her home with sister Venus in Palm Beach Gardens, Florida. There's her record last year, only 4 tournaments. The best was a semifinal finish at Cincinnati and Los Angeles. She dropped all the way to 95 and starts this tournament at 81 ranked in the world. But at this moment, she's already in the top 30 with her effort here. 2 times the champion, as her mother said, rusty, but oh so remarkable, this effort in Australia. And she just seems to have that right shot at the toughest time, at the big points. And of course, that is the mark of so many champions. Mom Oracene ever present, and the concrete foundation to the family. Richard Williams, the coach as well, is not. The father is not here. Nora seemed more animated, I thought, here in Melbourne than I've seen her in the
agree,
past.
especially in that last match against Payer in the quarterfinals. We saw her really get into the match. And she did say that Serena was rusty. We had a little doubts about her fitness, but no doubt here with Nicole Vaidisova. She works very hard on and off the court. Just 17 still.
Well, 2 years ago, it was Maria Sharapova, 17 and 9 months, that made it to the semifinals, one of the youngest ever. And Vaidisova, solid last year at 39 and 16 with one title in Strasbourg. And she made it to the semifinals at Roland Garros in the French Open last year. That was her best slam effort. She's Sharapova-like in her height and leggy length. Big serve, maybe bigger than Sharapova. And she and Serena are the top two ace makers in the championship, with Serena's 47, Vaidisova 45. So that might be an early statistic to follow to see which one has the most success on the service line.
1 minute.
Young Nicole Vaidisova, she's the 10th seed, and this is her trip to the semis.
She had a tough first round against American Jill Krabus, dropped the middle set, but since then has looked very solid. Dementieva, that was an upset in the round of 16, 3-3. And then against the Czech player, Safarova, Lucy Safarova, who had knocked out Mauresmo 6-1, 6-4. So in a big match, quarterfinals, I thought Vaidisova controlled her nerves well. She was composed. That's the key for Vaidisova. She can get a little emotional out there. She can get upset, throw her racket. She needs to keep that all intact.
Born in Nuremberg, Germany. Her mother was working in Germany at the time, but moved back to the homeland, Czechoslovakia, the Czech Republic, and then migrated to Florida, Bollettieri's Academy, where she first saw Serena Williams.
I've never played Serena before. You know, she's definitely a great champion, so I expect a tough match from her. Definitely, you know, a big fan of hers. Admire the way she played. I don't think, you know, I will be going out there to play her scared, but of course I have a lot of respect for what she's done.
She's well liked and well mannered, this 17-year-old. How about her nerves? We're going to find out. Williams will test that quickly. Two-time Australian Open champion Serena Williams opens the semifinal.
First serve.